Hey everyone, it is Thursday, June 8th, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been an excellent day so far. I'm in a great place, and I'm excited for a productive session. So, timing has definitely been way better on point this week. I'm really happy to report that. That's a big win, and I am not going to take my foot off the gas there. I'm going to keep improving, make sure I have more and more buffer time just in case things go wrong, make sure I'm earlier and earlier to my sessions so that I can get some super high quality work done every day. With that in mind, let's get into some online classwork. I'll talk you guys through what I'm doing there. We're going to do a light drum practice today. I'll share what I'm working on there with you guys, although it's not a ton right now. And then we're going to hit the production front hard, listen back to some of the takes I did yesterday, make sure that those are amazing, edit those into the track, and then flesh out the second verse and possible arrangement for the end of the song. So it's going to be a pretty epic session. Let's get right into it. All right, excellent session today. Very proud to report that. Very pleased, and I'm in the zone, guys. It is just unbelievable. I'm so surprised and shocked at how good this track is sounding. I mean, it makes sense. You know, I've made an incredible number of sacrifices and been extremely diligent about my learning process and growing my skills. I've been very uh, diligent about analyzing my progress, figuring out my weaknesses, planning to address those, working on how I can get to the next level, and it's not that mysterious how to make that happen. You read books about successful people, what they do. You read books about how to be successful. I mean, if you apply the principles, like that stuff has been documented ad infinitum at this point. The thing is, like, knowing it is step one, obviously, but you have to apply it. That's the hard part that I've realized recently is like anyone can just know how to be successful, but if you're not day in and day out applying those principles, finding ways to stay motivated, whatever it takes to stay bought in, I mean, it's gonna be hard. But anyway, I don't want to like preach about that at all. I just want to share my experience and really just try to be honest and tell the truth about how it's going, and it's going real well right now. So I'm really excited about that. It's hard to believe it honestly, but anyway, hopefully people will understand when they hear this record uh, what the process of making it was like. So it was an excellent session overall. I got it on the online class front, got some good work done on the music technology class on Coursera. It's called Survey of Music Technology. I got some good work done on my music business class, just learning a bit about producers and when you want to hire a producer and when it might be good not to. And if you're the type of person who, feels like, oh, my music is, there's this diamond in the rough in my music, and if I could just have someone else to help me polish it who really knows what he or she is doing, that would be so amazing. Like, that's when you want to hire a producer. That's what those people are going to be able to help you do. Or if you feel like, man, I'd really love just to have someone in here with me, just like helping me cook this stuff up to the next level, helping me connect it to my target audience, that kind of stuff. That's really valuable. If you're like me, right now at least, and you are totally obsessive about exactly the way you want it to sound, like to a tenth of a decibel, and you need to control that, and you hate the thought of someone else having control over that, then you probably want to avoid hiring a producer because you probably might clash on opinions. So I just feel like I have a very very specific goal in mind with this record sonically and artistically, and it's extremely important to me that I'm able to manifest that. And that is the main reason I'm doing this, just to make that clear. The main reason I'm doing this is to get this vision out into the world, manifested, even if no one else ever hears it. Now, hopefully people will, and hopefully people will dig it, and it'll totally translate. But even if it doesn't, guys, like, I'm going to be able to walk away from this record really proud and really happy of the accomplishment artistically, and that is the number one goal right now. Not that there aren't other goals, but that is the number one goal, and I hope that that will always remain the case. So that was great. Got in on the harmony class front, was learning a little bit more about minor keys, listening to some alternating 1-7 progressions. I was talking about that in yesterday's video. It's a common way of spicing up a one-chord vamp or one-chord groove in a minor key. It's useful to know. And then I got in on the drum front, had a reasonably light practice, but I am trying to push myself a little bit harder just because I want to see myself as a professional, and if I'm going to do this, then I want to do it the right way, and I want to make sure that I'm the best that I can possibly be. Not necessarily better than everyone else, although that would be great. Don't get me wrong, like, I would love to be the best drummer in the world, and the best guitarist in the world, and the best singer in the world, and like all that stuff combined. But the reality is, like, there are other people out there who are either more focused on that specifically, or who have more talent, or whatever. Like, I think that real success is just knowing that you did your best, and you'll hear me say that probably a lot, and you may have heard me say it before, but that's where I want to get to. And there's a big difference a lot of times between being better than other people and being the best that you possibly can be, and that might be a difference where you have to go way beyond where other people go, and that might be a difference where other people are always going to be ahead of you in some way. But the thing about music is it's so subjective. You know, to be able to say, like, oh, that guy's a better drummer than that other guy, I mean, it's, there's so many variables in that equation. So I just want to, I just want to take my vision of myself and get myself as close to who I want to be and how I want to portray that person as much as I possibly can. And I think that's what the creative act is really about. So not to get too macro, but that was excellent. I had a really good practice, pushing myself a little bit. Feels good, honestly. And just working out, getting my conditioning up, you know. I'm reading a book by John Wooden, one of the winningest coaches in NCAA basketball history, about success. It's fantastic. And he's talking about, like, you know, it's the conditioning is a huge part of competitive play, you know, or really just most endeavors. So not that I'm thinking about this as competitive, but it's just interesting, you know, even just your day-to-day life is largely dependent on your physical, mental, and emotional conditioning. You know, the more control and power you have in those regards, you know, probably the easier it is to get things done that you want to do. I mean, just all else being equal. So something to think about. And again, just it requires a lot of investment to be the best that you possibly can be in that regard. So that's my ambition, and so I want to make sure that my actions are in line with that. Then I moved on, took a short break, and read a little bit out of my music recording book, just reading about some nuances. And the big takeaway there from today's reading session was things that have a lot of high frequency energy are going to seem closer to the listener in the mix, whereas things with less high frequency energy are going to seem farther away. So if you want to move things forward and backward in the mix, there's a lot of different ways to do that, but one way to do it is altering the high frequency content. So it's something to think about, and definitely something I'm going to apply over and over again when I'm tracking and mixing my own stuff. Then I got it on the production front. I listened back to the takes from yesterday, and they were good, man. There were so many good takes. It's kind of blown me away. I mean, just my skills and my emotional investment and my time investment and personal investment in this, it's starting to come through in a pretty noticeable way, which is really nice. And I got some takes that I'm really excited about. They sound awesome, and they fit the bills so perfectly, and I'm really glad that I stuck it out, because there were a couple magical ones that were just like, I wasn't trying to make that happen, but listening back to it, it was like, oh my god, that's like, I will never be able to repeat that exactly that way ever again. You know, it's like, that's the stuff that I really like to search for when I'm doing takes on that. So I'm excited, and it's just part of making sure that this track has no weak points. You know, it's all killer from beginning to end. It is just absolutely, you know, blowing people's socks off. That's what I want, man, and it's fun. It's really really fun, guys. It's very exciting. I'm really enjoying the process, and I'm just stoked that I'm able to document it as well. And I hope you guys are getting something out of the videos. I know these talks at the end have been really long recently compared to other ones, so let me know if you guys have any thoughts on that. Otherwise, I just appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process as much as possible. That's what I'm out here doing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Till then.